They call me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jack.
Good afternoon, NBA family. It is your boy DTLF back with another video. As I got the conference finals preview for you guys today, as well as I'm gonna be talking about something that's come up. Shams Charania reporting, something that I want to break down for you guys for sure. And we got a reveal. You guys asked for it, so we got it today. So we're gonna do all of that here. But what's up, Mixtape? Good to see you, bro. We'll be doing also on Playback TV exclusively. We'll be doing Good Take, Bad Take this afternoon. So stay tuned for that. But how y'all feeling today, man? I know everybody's excited that one of the most hated teams from Laker fans got eliminated yesterday. So again, congratulations to the T-Wolves in celebration of Ant-Man's great playoff performance thus far. Court Kings, to your guys' request, you guys have been asking for some Ant-Man stuff. We got you, man. Say less. A star rises above them all. Now available on shopcourtkings.com. And if I do say so myself, my guy Chris got down with this one, man. That little animation where he's growing, it kind of resembles his game perfectly. So Ant-Man's a perfect nickname for him. I'm glad that's the one he has, man. Very, very cool. What's up, Striker? Good to see you. Jordan, how y'all doing today? Hopefully everybody's doing good. My good friend, diehard Lakers fans only. What's up, brother? How you doing? All right, let's get into this little rumor. It's not really rumors. It's news being reported about the Lakers coaching search. And this one was very interesting to me because it has Shams Charania of The Athletic basically saying talking about LeBron's role in the Lakers coaching search. So here we go.
This is the Lakers coaching situation.
Yeah, I'm told LeBron James is not involved in the Lakers head coaching search. I've reported on it last week. JJ Redick, James Borrego, Sam Cassell are the lead initial targets. But LeBron James made it clear this is the organization's decision. He's had no conversations with the Lakers about JJ Redick, his podcast partner. He's had no conversation with JJ about that position as well. I did speak to Rich Paul this morning. He said,
"Where's that dog meme?"
He said LeBron James and JJ Redick, they do a podcast together. That does not mean that he wants JJ Redick as his head coach, but he's leaving it up to the organization. We'll see what LeBron James decides for his future.
So, I mean, I find it very interesting that he's not getting involved. This could mean one of several things here, but let's let the clip keep rolling here.
Obviously, I'm told he's expected to play up to 2 more NBA seasons. The bottom line with LeBron James is this. If he was making the decisions for the Lakers, Ty Lue would have been the head coach in 2019. Kyrie Irving would be his point guard if he was running the team, if he was making the decisions. I think when you're the Lakers, you have to look into the future. Anthony Davis is someone that's going to play. He's going to outlast, most likely LeBron James as a Laker. He's 31 years old in the prime of his career. And how do you make a hire potentially that does fit AD better involved?
So it sounds to me like this is just my observation based on what Shams is saying. The Lakers are more focused, according to Shams. These could all be smoke and mirrors. You know what I'm saying? This could all be a ploy for Clutch to wash their hands and say we had nothing to do with the firings or the hirings. This has all been the front office. This could be that. But it sounds to me like maybe the Lakers are starting to move forward with their franchise. Maybe they're no longer in the clutches of LeBron and Clutch. I don't know. Could be, though. Could be. Maybe, again, it's all smoke and mirrors. We're going to find out later in this offseason. But
involving him in the coaching search process. And he has built a rapport with James Borrego. They overlapped a little bit in New Orleans. But when you look at James Borrego, Sam Cassell, they obviously have experience as either longtime assistants, and for James Borrego, he has been a head coach before as well. So there is a difference between being a first-time head coach and someone that's been in that seat before.
So that's a name that keeps popping up, guys, and I'm not sure I like it very much, to be honest with you guys. James Borrego. James Borrego is a name that pops up. Now, here's my problem with just James Borrego hiring, right? His head coaching experience was with Charlotte. Now, he was a part of the assistant coaching staff for the Pelicans, one of the best offensive teams this season, but a lot of it has to do with the makeup of the team. Now, people feel like if you hire a team, automatically your offense is going to skyrocket. While there could be some truth to that, obviously it's an improvement if you hire a great basketball mind. I believe that the makeup of the Pelicans is a young, athletic, up and coming, fast breaking teams. Obviously, their offense is going to be good if you play towards that style, right? Now, he's not one of my favorite candidates, James Borrego, but I do like the fact that the Lakers are trying to cater to Anthony Davis as well. I feel like they've already catered to LeBron, regardless of what the reports say. I do like the fact that they have keeping him in mind because that'll keep him happy. Otherwise, it's a player-driven league. You never know when somebody can request a trade or be unhappy. The Lakers have underachieved. I think yesterday's game proved what I've been saying all along, that the Denver Nuggets were very beatable and they were very mortal. Very mortal. So, the Lakers losing the first round to Denver, and then a young team like the Timberwolves, led by a 22-year-old, comes up and eliminates that team, which shows the Lakers were a little bit further than we thought, right? But again, this season, when the Lakers were struggling, I didn't see any consistency till like the final stretch when they finally put 8 out of 10 games together. We've been waiting for that all year. The coaching really does matter. So I really want, and I hope and I pray that the Lakers get this coaching hire right. But what is this? Where does this leave LeBron and the Lakers? Could it be that maybe LeBron is leaving the Lakers in limbo as a result? They're not involving him so much in the coaching process. Maybe LeBron really is considering going elsewhere, or maybe LeBron is trying to coerce the front office into doing what he wants. Regardless, the fact that he's not involved in this, it could signify something. I don't know what it is, but it could signify maybe LeBron tired of taking the blame for the Lakers' downfalls. It could signify maybe LeBron trusting the front office. That would be best case scenario for Laker fans. Or it could signify doomsday scenario for LeBron fans, which is LeBron leaving, going to a new place. So I really don't know what this could mean, guys. What do you guys think it means? I just find it interesting, and I wanted to bring it to your attention. This was supposed to be a conference finals video, but of course, man, the Lakers run the rumor mill. We run the internet, so it's a beautiful thing to see that, even when great playoffs basketball is going on, the Lakers continue to be the forefront of the news. We love it. We love to see that. Let's see here. Benaya says, "What's up, Dan? I want Sam Cassell as the head coach along with JJ Redick as a top assistant coach." I like that idea. I don't, Sam Cassell definitely has experience. He said something that I've been saying ever since the coaching hiring process happened, and that is that the Lakers should look for a jerk type coach, like somebody who's gonna hold players accountable and be an asshole to them at times. You need that kind of energy, because if you're just trying to be buddy old pal like Darvin Ham, you end up losing the locker room anyways. So let's hope that whoever they hire has somewhat of a backbone and can command the locker room. I think that's probably one of the most important attributes they got to look for here. Hey, what up, Tex? Good to see you, man. He said, "Salute, Dan. I still can't get over how the chicken nuggets choked. Goes to show they are just one and done champs and frauds." Yeah, man. I again, that was my stance from the moment everybody started picking them early in the year to repeat. It's not easy to repeat as champions. That's number one. Number two, they lost key pieces like Bruce Brown, and right away I knew that team was going to be flawed. And then again, I've never been impressed by their 3-time MVP. You guys saw what I saw last night and how he utilizes the referees to get to the free throw line. That's where he starts catching a rhythm. And yeah, he has a high basketball IQ and a soft touch, but I'll never be a fan of a player like that because, he cheats his way to victory. And probably 2 out of the 3 MVPs were not deserved, if not all of them. So I really can't stand that at all. But I am happy they're eliminated. I think all Laker fans should be very happy they're eliminated. And now there's only one team remaining that we can't stand, and that's the Boston Celtics. So, I'm happy that there's 3 teams. I don't mind whoever wins the championship, whether Minnesota, Dallas, or Indiana. God willing, any of those 3 wins it, I don't mind, right? I can rest easy as a Laker fan, knowing that hopefully Boston won't win the championship. So that's my only hope now. But the West, I'm just going to have fun watching the West. I'm going to get into the breakdown a little bit. And then the East, obviously, we're rooting for Indiana. Heavy, man. Boston is a very dangerous threat. Been saying it all year long. People are saying they have an easy path to the finals. Not so fast. I think Indiana's going to have something to say about that. Hopefully, they at least 4, 6, or 7. But I really hope they do, pull off the upset. We're going to get into the keys to both of those matchups right now in a bit. Die Hard, you say, I low-key still prefer Mike and Nori because we have the pieces to match the Wolves, and Finch also coached AD on the Pelicans. So they have the coaching tree yielding decent fruits and strategy. Yeah, man, I feel you on that. If I'm going to get a first-time assistant, I'm also leaning towards Mike and Nori from the Minnesota Timberwolves because he just seems like he knows what he's talking about. Obviously, he's done a tremendous job on the sidelines. If you guys saw that clip that went viral on ESPN of him breaking down how to beat Jokic, I think a lot of Laker fans were sold after that one for sure. But all in all, it's an exciting time for us Laker fans because, yes, we lost and we're very disappointed about that. But we have a golden opportunity to improve moving forward and seeing which direction our franchise is about to head into. There's always excitement, man. Again, diehard Laker fans know what's up. Always excitement in the offseason. Now, as far as a basketball standpoint, it's been, I want to say a super memorable playoffs. Like there hasn't been too many great series, but I think the Timberwolves versus Nuggets one was great. Obviously, the outcome was amazing. That was one of the best comebacks in Game 7 history, or maybe the best. I have to double check that. I think I read the best or one of the best. But that was a lot of fun. I know you guys had a blast, man. We were all celebrating last night because one of our mortal enemies who basically swept us twice got eliminated. So that's always good news for Laker fans. Secondly, we get to watch a Western Conference playoff matchup that I think everybody's going to have fun watching, and that's Minnesota. If you're a basketball fan, period, Minnesota versus Dallas is going to be a blast. All right, we're going to look at two completely different play styles. One has two killers in Kyrie and Luka. Right, they have two go-tos in the clutch, and the other one has one killer in Ant-Man, but they have the size difference. So what matchup do you guys think is going to be better? Again, we're going to break it all down here on the live stream. Again, listen, I was going to do a round of league tomorrow, but I'm going to have to hit up the fellas because there's a game tomorrow, and I really want to see it through. I want to see the Indiana Pacers hopefully beat the Boston Celtics, so I will be covering that game instead. So I'll try to squeeze in an episode of Around the League whenever there's an off day basketball-wise, because, we get into the important parts of basketball, and we cannot miss a game from this point on. So I will be covering you guys pre-game, post-game on all the games remaining. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. He said, what's up, Dan? I'm a diehard fan, but I gave up on Bron and AD era. You know what, Reg Dog? I don't blame you. I was very disappointed after this loss. And I said one thing has to happen is we have to fire the coach. So I am still hopeful that a new coach can rein in, some more success. But I understand why you feel this way, Reg Dog, because we are getting older. And as you can see, it's a young man's league. Look at the teams that are left right now. It's filled with young talent. I think one of the oldest superstars, he is the oldest superstar. Kyrie Irving is the oldest superstar left in these playoffs. Think about that. That's mind-blowing, right? Kyrie Irving, out here looking like Uncle Drew. He's the oldest, man left in the playoffs. Like that right there blows my mind. So it shows you that the league is now transitioning into the youth. And at some point, the Lakers are going to have to get with the program. I know we've never been that type of franchise unless we can have our cake and eat it too, like with Kobe and Shaq. We had a young player we basically traded for in the draft and a superstar that was already established in Shaq Diesel, right? So there is that. And hey, looks like we have our first super chat of the day. Appreciate you, Kane Carter. He said, you should do calls to vent for the offseason now. If you guys want me to do calls, let me know, man. Drop if we get a couple of those requests, and yeah, I'll do calls. I'll do whatever the people want, man. You guys got it. But thanks so much for the super chat, brother. I do appreciate that. Johnny, talk to me, bro. It's crazy, right? To see that. Watching Kyrie come into the league out of Duke, get drafted by the Cavs. We saw the young man grow, eventually become a champion alongside LeBron. And then now, we're out here calling him old. He's not really old. He's, 30, 31? But he's in the prime of his basketball career, and he's the oldest star player left in these playoffs, which is crazy. Everybody else is 30 and under, right? So she said Western Conference next year will be a gauntlet next year. The Western Conference is always a gauntlet. It's been like that. I mean, growing up watching Kobe and Shaq, I saw them have to go through some of the toughest teams in the West, the San Antonio Spurs, teams like that. There's always been a gauntlet, but it feels like the West every year is so stacked. In the East, they have like maybe 2 to 3 core teams that really stand out, and they're usually racing amongst themselves. But in the West, man, it's every seed from 1 through 8, heck, 1 through 10 because of the play-in tournament. Anything can happen. So, but it's fun. It's fun. I wouldn't want it any other way. I do believe that whoever comes out of the West has a great shot at winning the championship because they will be battle tested. Meanwhile, God forbid the Celtics make it to the finals. They might not be as battle tested. They kind of had an easy path the first 2 rounds, but hopefully it's a little bit of a struggle for them just to beat them up and getting ready for whoever's in the finals. Hopefully the West takes it. That's all I'm hoping for now. West taking the championship, whoever it is. I got no hate for 3 of the 4 teams left in the playoffs. Everybody knows how we feel about Boston. Let's see. I want Phil Handy as the head coach. I'll say this, Max. I think the Phil Handy ship has sailed a little bit because Phil Handy seems like a great player development coach, but as a head coach, I don't know what type of coach he would be. I wanted to see it. I requested for Darvin to get fired halfway through the season and let Phil take the reins the rest of the year to see how he does, and then we can evaluate him there, see if he deserves an extension or just go with a different coach. But Lakers didn't do that. They waited till the end of the season. So I think Phil Handy, I don't even think he's coming back to the team, sadly. I would love him as a player development coach forever on the Lakers. It's sad that he also had to get canned, you know what I'm saying? And so that's when I knew the front office was operating differently, because I know LeBron for damn sure didn't have a say in firing Phil Handy. So the front office, whether they made a mistake or not, TBD. We'll see in the near future. Savage says, Dan, an article dropped saying Dan Gilbert would never trade Mitchell to the Lakers. Well, they said the same thing about the Pelicans, owners saying they would never trade AD to the Lakers. So it is a players' league, and if he says I want to be traded strictly to the Lakers, that's where he will probably end up, unless they want to take a far fewer assets for a 1-year rental on another team, right? Because remember, Donovan Mitchell can opt, to be a free agent next year. So there's that. He said, do you see Sam Cassell being a skills coach for us like Phil Handy rather than a head coach? He's been an assistant for years, so I wouldn't mind, experienced assistants for sure. Sam Cassell, I think, would be great. Now, we just don't know what his head coaching caliber status would look like on this team, honestly. But it's going to be interesting because, again, the rumors are running rampant. Right? Over the last week or so, we heard that JJ Redick was a favorite. Now we're hearing LeBron hasn't really vouched for JJ, and he's staying out of the coaching search. And AD is taking the forefront as far as who he prefers. So that is very interesting there. He's Dante, what's up, bro? He say, I'm fake tired, but no games tonight except Dodgers. Yeah. Oh man, shout out to the Dodgers, man. Yeah, you know what? I've been watching here and there the Dodgers this season, but again, I really hope playback starts allowing us to cover those games, because then we can really dive into them. But go Dodgers today, babe. Let's get it. He said, Max, you can tell me why Ty Lue over Darvin scam. We could have won 2 games in the Nuggets series. Well, according to reports, if it was up to LeBron, he would have hired Tyronn Lue and also traded for Kyrie, which I believe both of those things. So maybe LeBron has been more hands-off than we are expecting to believe. Maybe, right? But nothing's for sure with these reports and these rumors. You got to take them with a grain of salt, to be honest with you. And it's going to be interesting to see, what's true, who gets hired. I think time will tell, right? I expect the hiring to happen over the next 2 weeks or so. I really do. I think we're going to have somebody in place well before the draft, just in case we need to make trades or whatever. He can, have his input on that. In case we draft somebody, he can have his input on that. I think there's going to be a new head coach 2-3 weeks max before the draft for sure. I do believe that. Now, let's get into the Western Conference and Eastern Conference Finals matchup, because after all, we have not previewed it. Let's start in the East. All right, because that's the game tomorrow. That's the game that got me canceling around the league, y'all, because I want to cover it. But tomorrow, Celtics versus Pacers starts that series. Clearly, Boston is the favorite. I hate to say that. It makes me sick, but they are, right? They've been cruising all season long in the Eastern Conference. And, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem. But if we look at the Indiana Pacers, man, they have the tools that it takes to match up really well versus Boston. All right. First and foremost, Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton is a young star. He's an all-star. He's not a superstar. But maybe this is the game where he elevates himself. We'll see the series where he elevates himself. They're going to need him to be big time for them because, in the regular season, he averaged 20 points, 10.9 assists. He was looking phenomenal. In the playoffs, he's had good games. He's had bad games. But again, the young guard, he's only 24 years old. He's going to get better. I look forward to seeing how he steps up versus a really good defensive team in Boston. Obviously, they got one of the best defensive guards in Drew Holiday. So he's going to be obviously the main factor. Then we talk about the X factor, Pascal Siakam. This guy, we want to talk about stars. He's a two-way player, right? He's a star in his role. At 30 years of age, he's one of the older players. He's up there with Kyrie. So he has a lot of experience. He's been a champion. He's been there. It's going to show in this series right here because he's got to go up against the Jason Tatums and the Jaylen Browns of the world. So they're going to need this man to be nothing short of spectacular. And he was that versus the Knicks. He was a killer versus the Knicks, right? He was a killer versus the Knicks. We're talking about a 17-point per game scorer who can also lock up. And this season, he's elevated his game on the Pacers. 22 points per game, shooting over 52% from the field. And he needs to get that three-point shooting percentage up a little bit in the series, right? But, I mean, he went off versus the Knicks. He went off 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. I mean, a block, 4 assists, a steal in 37 minutes with 20 points on 8 for 15 from the field. He went off. So, again, to me, he's the X factor. And you want to talk about Miles Turner, man. You want to talk about another factor in this. Excuse me. I got the hiccups. Let me just hold my breath really quick. Okay, hopefully they went away. Miles Turner. You want to talk about a big man? Obviously, signed that extension, man. 17-point per game score. He's really stepped it up this season as well. And defensively, he's going to be just such a key cog for them. Defensively. So again, without Kristaps Porzingis being available as being reported for the first couple of games, watch out for this kid right here, Miles Turner. I mean, the way he spaces the floor and all of that, he's going to be, I think, crucial in this series as well. So they got those are their top 3 for me. Now we get into the role players, right? The role players, Obi Topping, hit or miss type of role player. But Aaron Naismith, by the way, he's named after the basketball creator. Was only 24 years of age. He had 19 points on the elimination game versus the New York Knicks, 8 for 8 from the field. They shot a ridiculous percentage. 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. Most importantly, his defense, man. The way he shades players. He's another one. He might be tasked with guarding Jaylen Brown. So this is probably going to be one of the top role player, key players in this series right here. And you got Andrew Nembhard. We saw what he did. We saw the game winner versus the Knicks game 4. That one stung like crazy. And he was having a bad game. I think it was on May 14, right? But he hit that game winner, right? He ends up with 11 points that game. But again, yesterday, elimination game, 20 points on 8 for 10 from the field. Very efficient. This team is very well coached, man. Rick Carlisle definitely has his imprint on this team. And then TJ McConnell, you want to talk about a feisty guard that just, he can get his hands in the passing lane. It reminds me of a poor man's Alex Caruso, not quite as good, but he had 12 points on 6 for 8 with 7 assists, with a steal and a block and a couple of rebounds. Those are the guys that can really put a scare in Boston, maybe even pull off the upset. Isaiah Jackson, hard-nosed rebounding big man who plays some solid defense off the bench. Guys like that. So to me, even though Boston has the better starting lineup, clearly, I believe Indiana might have the better bench. And if their starting lineup could just stay on par with the Jason Tatums, Kristaps, Jaylen Browns, Derek Whites, and Drew Holidays of the world, who's the best bench player for the Celtics, right? Al Horford probably has to start in place of Porzingis, so you can't count him. Peyton Pritchard, who's their best bench player. If you look at their team, they're very top heavy, right? Which is something we talked about a lot on around the league. So if you look at their team, they're top heavy. Role players definitely have the advantages there. So I'll say my prediction for that series is going to be, I'm hoping, this is more like with my heart than with my head. My prediction is Indiana in 7. All right. If, and all those things have to happen, those main 3 starters have to be huge. And then those role players have to outplay the Boston Celtics role players. Indiana in 7, if all of that happens. If it happens. My guy D Free said, as for the Pacers, the Celtics haven't got one good game out of Tatum yet because they haven't needed it. He's the best player in the series by far. The better team with best player typically wins quickly. Look, this is what I'm going to say, yo. This is what I'm going to say, brother, is that series is very intriguing because, again, the cross matchups, the Pacers actually have some good defensive wings that are going to wreak havoc. And if you can take Jason Tatum out of that series, who else beats you? Jaylen Brown is hit or miss, right? He's kind of inconsistent if we're being realistic. And then who else? Drew Holiday. He's more defensive. He can go off offensively, but it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, lightning, catching lightning in a bottle. Like, who else is going to beat you on the Celtics if you can really lock up one of the two, either Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, right? Now, the one thing I like about Indy, they move the ball extremely well. They play together. That's what can put a scare into Boston. So, again, if all those things I mentioned, all those key pieces happen, then most definitely, you know what I'm saying? Most definitely, I think the Pacers win. I do. I see a couple of requests for Phone Call Friday. So if you guys want to chime in, I will be dropping the link, but I won't bring you guys up until I break down the second matchup, which is the Timberwolves versus the Mavericks. Okay, now, here's where it gets really interesting because you want to talk about two completely different styles of play. Completely different styles of play. Mavericks, they have a huge advantage in a sense that they got a champion in Kyrie, and they have an experienced star who's been deep in the trenches in Luka. And they also have a good head coach in Jason Kidd. With some young dogs, man. I really like Derek Lively. I wanted this guy to be, I really wanted Derek Lively to be, a Lakers draft pick. He unfortunately got taken, 12 or 14? So he didn't fall. He did not fall to the Lakers, unfortunately. But you can see why I wanted him. I mean, this kid is extremely good. He's not playing like a rookie. He's out here. He had 15 rebounds in the last game. He had, 12 points, a lot of energy, a lot of hustle, a lot of effort. So they're dangerous in that sense. They got guys like him, PJ Washington, who they traded for at the trade deadline. He's vicious as well. I mean, he can go off. So that's not going to be an easy matchup for the Timberwolves. However, Timberwolves have the size advantage. I believe they have the coaching advantage. I believe they have everything it takes to win that series, except they don't have two superstars to the one. And most of the time, in the playoffs at least, the team that has two stars prevails. So, again, this is a coin flip. I don't know who's going to advance to the finals. I really don't. But what I do know is that it's going to be a very exciting series, and I could see that one going anywhere between 6 and 7. Who do you guys have in the chat winning that series, man? Again, if we go to the cross matchups, my goodness, man, that series right there is an absolute banger. I'll tell you, Dallas has really elevated themselves, man, over the past couple of years. And that's what Mark Cuban does. I don't like him as a person, but I got to give him credit. He's Mark Cuban in the front office for the Dallas Mavericks, very intelligent, right? Luka, there was rumors he might leave. Those are out the window because they went in, they got the other star player that steps up big in the playoffs to play alongside him and take some pressure off him. And that's Kyrie Irving, right? Not only that, but they had one of the best trade deadlines. I mentioned it. They were one of the most dangerous teams in the West after this trade deadline. Watch out for them. And here they are in the Western Conference Finals. Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington, who they acquired from the Wizards and from the Charlotte Hornets, respectively. Then they had a good draft. Derek Lively. The year before that, Josh Green, right? They go and they get an unproven role player like Dante Exum, right? Cleaver unfortunately gets hurt, but he was sniping lights out. They got Tim Hardaway Jr., who really hasn't showed up in the playoffs much. You know what I'm saying? They got Derrick Jones Jr., who, by the way, added a very consistent three ball to his game, and he's been phenomenal, right? So they have some solid depth there. They're going to put up a fight. But again, who has the better roster to me? If gun to the head I had a pick, I'm picking Minnesota because to me they got one of the new faces of the league, if not the face. For now, for this playoffs, I'm gonna call him the face because he eliminated the poster child for the NBA. And so Anthony Edwards, man, they got him. He's a dog. He's a killer. Who's gonna stop him? And they got Rudy Gobert, who I wasn't mentioning this guy at all before last night. And y'all seen what this man did. Y'all seen what Rudy Gobert did. Rudy Gobert stepped up big time. He even hit a fadeaway, a Dirk-esque fadeaway with the shot clock winding down that pretty much sealed, put the nail in the coffin on their run. And the momentum could have shifted if he misses that shot. And the Nuggets score, it could have shifted. Then Karl Towns has been a pleasant surprise in the playoffs. He's stepped up certain games. He definitely stepped up last night. Naz Reid has been an X factor for them, just like I knew he would. Naz Reid is a special talent, man. He can space the floor. He crashes the glass. He plays solid defense. There was moments where he locked up the Joker in that series. So credit to him. In spite of the poor officiating and the ticky-tack fouls that were getting called, Naz Reid was able to get some block shots and rebounds and stuff like that. So he's going to be huge in that Dallas Mavericks series. Mike Conley Jr., who, again, is never flashy, but he's able to do some things, to help his team out, and he's able to stay efficient for the most part. And then Jaden McDaniels, who he had a tremendous Game 7 yesterday, man. He had over 20 points. He had a couple of blocks, some rebounds, some assists. He was great. Now, again, when we look at this series, who's going to have the edge? I think the Timberwolves have the better starting unit. But then when I look at the bench of the Timberwolves, I'm not that intrigued per se. Kyle Anderson is probably their best bench player. No, it's not Kyle Anderson. It's what's his name? Nickeil Alexander-Walker, right? But Kyle Anderson is probably the second best player. So again, who wins the battle of the benches? That could factor into this, but I still think this is going to be, 7 rotation heavy series, right? It just feels that way. It just does. Don't ask me why. It feels like they're just going to stick to certain rotations and try to win it out. But let's go ahead and bring in our first caller of the day. My guy Shan. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
What's good, man? But yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, brother.
Yeah, man. I'm good, man. I feel great after yesterday, man. Chicken nuggets finally got fucking devoured, bro. Brought so much joy to see Mike Malone fucking go crazy. I thought he'd have a mental breakdown. I was a little shocked. I thought he was surprisingly a little composed. I thought he'd be in tears. I'm not gonna front, but I'm just sad those motherfuckers are done.
Mike Malone borderline was in tears, man. If you watch that last the post conference, he was mad at the reporters for asking average ass everyday questions, calling them stupid questions and stuff. I still gotta make fun of him, but I'm telling you, Mike Malone was upset. His face was priceless. I was loving every minute of it, and I'm right there with you, man. I was hyped because for 2 reasons. One, because I knew the Denver Nuggets were very mortal, and this series definitely proved it, right? Because in spite of all the calls, the officials were. Did you watch what I watched, Shan?
Hell yeah.
Bro, this is why people ask me, why don't you like the Nuggets, Dan? This is why. Because they're very whistle-oriented. Like, for me, I don't respect that, right? It's almost James Harden-esque. We saw Jokic would get out rebounded, he will flop to the floor, foul. And on the other end, we saw a play yesterday where Ant clearly got hacked in transition, and the officials they swallowed the whistle, man.
Yeah,
so
bro.
It did feel good as a Laker fan to watch a young up-and-coming team eliminate a team who everybody was already giving their flowers to, talking about repeating defending champs. It's not easy to repeat, y'all. That's the thing I want to tell folks. I've been watching basketball for so long. I know the Lakers sometimes make it look easy. They did repeat in the 2000s, and then they two-peated in 2009, 2010. So they make it look easy to repeat, but it's really not.
Yeah, right? Man. And I mean, it also brought joy to see Jamal Murray, man. That dude gave me nightmares. And then also like Aaron Gordon, man. That motherfucker annoying as shit, bro. Especially like he's so annoying. He got LeBron to almost choke the shit out of him. So I'm glad that dude's done. Christian Brown, fake ass Alex Caruso type player. You know, I'm glad all those guys are done. But it was definitely bittersweet, man, because I felt like Lakers had them by the hair, bro. It just honestly that shit just made me more pissed off at Darvin scam and like watching Nas Reed. I was a fan of Rui, I still am, but watching Nas Reed honestly made me really rethink things with Rui Hachimura, man. Because you can't tell me that Rui can't do similar things, bro. You 6'8", you 230. Nas Reed about the same size, and he was blocking the shit out of Jokic. He was playing aggressive, and I felt like Rui that shit just pissed me off even more because I'm like, you have all the size, you have the skill, you have the athleticism, and it just feels like he's just afraid of the moment, man. And like I understand, he might like Rui might have been out of his position. I'll blame some of that on the coaching staff, but I just feel like effort and energy you can't teach that shit, and I just feel like that's some he's lacking. And low key, it made me realize, bro, we need to get Donovan Mitchell, man, because I know there was the report, right? That said Dan Gilbert's not won't trade him, but when you ask what they would trade him for, is like two young really good players and some picks. I think a perfect trade package, and I love Austin Reeves, but it's Donovan Mitchell, bro. So it's
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been saying it all year, bro. There's one player I would trade Austin Reeves for if we're talking about stars that might be available, and that's Donovan Mitchell. I agree with that.
like move
Because
Reeves and Rui a couple picks, and you got a deal. Because low key, you think about the Cavs, right?
But the only
Cavs
question
is
is, bro, the only question is, do you think, and there's already reports circulating that Dan Gilbert won't want to trade with the Lakers to help LeBron. He low key hates LeBron, bro. He low key hates him. Like he showed his true colors when LeBron left the first time. Um, do you think Dan Gilbert will trade? Because I believe for the right price, anything's possible. But I do think Donovan Mitchell will have to request a trade specifically to the Lakers. That's just my thoughts. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think Donovan Mitchell wants to play for the Lakers. There was actually a rumor when he was going to the Cavs, he wanted to come to the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 years ago. And I know, like, I think it could happen, man. They said the same thing about AD. It happens. Like I feel like also some of these like owners like to BS their prices. Like they said the same shit about OG Anunoby. Like we won 5 first round picks and they traded him for a decent package. And I feel like we got the pieces for it. Cause you gotta think like if you're the Cavs, right? Like Donovan Mitchell does not fit them because I feel like it's the same thing with Golden State. I remember like Monte Ellis, Steph Curry. It reminds me of that type of situation. Obviously, different skill sets, but I've never been a fan of two small ball dominant guards in the same backcourt that like Donovan Mitchell. He can't play defense, but it's just like he's out of position there because he's an undersized two guard. I personally would much rather have him play the one, and I feel like he would fit better on the Lakers, man, just because like it's what you need, man, especially
Yeah.
given like what I
Well, for
used to
sure. I
think.
mean, Donovan Mitchell for sure fit. I mean, he fits almost any team. Let's be honest. His scoring prowess and just the fact that he can go off for 40 to 50 any given night, and he goes off every playoffs since he was with the Utah Jazz. So it's not like he's unproven like D'Lo. Like he's actually going to
Yeah,
show up. He's going to give you 30 to 50 any given night. That's the type of player he is.
yeah. What
Um,
was the question again?
I think he's the perfect fit for sure. But what is too much for Donovan Mitchell? What is too much for Donovan Mitchell? Would you give up the 3 unprotected first round picks? Would you give up Max Christie? Would you give up Austin? Would you give up Vando? Would you give up Rui? Like, what is too much for
I'd
him?
say, but giving up like Austin, Rui, Vando, and Matt and Christie, that'd be too much. But I think when you really think about the Cavs, like I was saying, they're like unbalanced. Like if you add Reeves and you add Rui there, then you get two starting caliber players there, and the Cavs actually look a much better team with those guys. Hell, you could bring Austin Reeves off the bench and start Max Strus, and they'd be a solid, much better team than they are now. So I think I would say Austin Reeves, Rui, and maybe like 2 to 3 first round picks. I
Yeah.
think that's a good deal because, in my opinion, bro, like I understand the future, but I feel like after last playoffs, LeBron and AD still showed they can do it. They just need the right team around them, and they need a decent head coach. Like, we almost got them. I believe we would have beaten them if if we didn't have a terrorist as a head coach. So that's what I believe, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, hey, man, thanks so much for the call, bro.
Yeah.
Absolute great
One
points,
more
man.
question. I don't want to
Yeah.
rush you. What like your eyes? Like, what do you think about like the head coaching situation, and like what role players would you want to go after or keep?
Um, the head coaching situation right now for me, I'm open minded, but it is going to tell a lot about which direction we're heading. So we get like a JJ Redick. It tells me that okay, they're trying to keep LeBron still happy, I guess, and we're probably going to go and get some veteran. We need veteran leaders in the locker room, obviously, but you also have to mix in with youth. So that's the only part where I'm afraid of trading too much, is because how are you going to replenish some of that youth if you trade away all your draft picks and your young pieces? You know what I mean? That's my only concern. I don't want to be looking like the Lakers a couple years ago when they had DeAndre Jordan, Kent Bazemore, and all these scrubs on the team.
Yeah.
That's my only fear, right? But outside of that, as far as role players that the Lakers should keep, I like what Taurean Prince did in limited minutes whenever he wasn't starting, right? I really want to hold on to Max Christie. Obviously, Vando is a must keep for me, no matter who you trade. Find a way to keep Vando because as you can see, those wings, they're interchangeable and they help you in these type of series moving forward. So that's that. But again, thank you so much for the call, brother. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, and talk to you soon. Great caller, man. Always my guy Shan, giving his opinions on everything. My biggest fear is that we give up too much. I know Dan Gilbert is going to want to ask for a premium in any deal if he's even willing to give up Donovan Mitchell. He's going to want pick swaps on top of the 3 picks. I know he's going to want a lot because we all know the Laker tax is real. All right, let's bring in our next guest, my guy Solo. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Dan?
How's it going, man? How you feeling this afternoon?
I'm feeling good now that the Denver's out of it.
Yes, it is a universal diehard Laker fan mutual feeling that somebody that eliminates us is like we want blood, say every single time, and especially if they did it 2 years in a row, right? So, what would impress you the most about a young Timberwolves team coming out and getting that done?
It's their poise, their composure. In a game 7, being able to pull it out in Denver's home, high altitude, you get gassed, they're down 20. It takes a lot of guts and heart to pull it out in that situation. So I think they really showed the league that they're a force to be reckoned with. And the future's now, man. We got to get younger for sure.
That's key right there, man. That's something I've been preaching for a while. As much as I like LeBron James and Anthony Davis, how much of a window do they truly have? And where are we going to get that youth to run alongside them when we make a trade like Donovan Mitchell? How would you feel about that?
I think the window is actually shut, man. To be honest with you, I think it's, look how long it's been. It's been, what, 4 years since the championship?
Yep.
Just hasn't worked, man, because you can't, I understand we want to please our superstars, but not to the detriment of the organization, right? So I think we're leaning too much into making LeBron satisfied,
yes,
into doing what's necessary to push this organization forward in order for us to win a chip.
See, game recognized game, bro. That's how I know you're a diehard Laker fan like me, because you've spoken like a true Laker fan, man, through and through.
Yeah. Because I like Bron. I appreciate what he did helping us to get a title, but I also don't appreciate the pressure that he puts on the front office to turn over the team year after year after year. And the more that you do that, you get diminishing returns. So we're losing assets every time that we're trying to make these moves for LeBron James. And it's like, I understand everybody was upset that we didn't make a move at the trade deadline, but dude, how much do we really have? And then, like you say, on top of that, there is a Lakers tax. So on top of us not having really many assets to make moves, is also much higher for us to, pay for these trades, So it's like, we're stuck in a rock and a hard place.
You're absolutely right. Every time we make a trade, we like depleting so much the future of this team and the team. Now we're counting on free agency, which, by the way, free agency hasn't been great. When was the last time like a major tectonic plate shifting move happened in this modern CBA, right?
And then honestly, even if you think about it, some of those moves you thought would be tectonic type moves, it didn't show any. It wasn't fruitful at all. Look at what happened with New Jersey.
Yeah,
nothing came out of it.
So the league is trending towards the youth. If you're the Lakers front office right now, man, because you have a great basketball mind, I'm glad you called in. If you're the Lakers front office right now, what is your priority this offseason if you were running the show right
now? For me, it's depth. I understand. If you're trying to win right now with LeBron James, you got to focus on depth. Because if you bring in another superstar, I said this years ago when we got Russell Westbrook. I told you, I said the 3-star team is played out. It's not going to work anymore. There's too much young talent in this league, and they are extremely deep. You got bodies to throw at, and then LeBron James, he's old. He's getting tired. You see it. His leg, at the end of these games, he's completely gassed. So we have to focus on, if we're leaning in with LeBron James, want to go all in with him, we have to focus on our depth. And on top of that, when we get a coach, we have to pay attention to what they need to fit their system. You can't put a chef in the kitchen, but don't give him the ingredients to make the dish. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it just makes me so disappointed because I hate that Dr. Buss is gone, because I feel like the kids are running this into the dirt, because ever since he's left, I just feel like they just been snaking people, and I hate to say it like that, but that's what it sounds like when it comes to like Jerry West, when it comes to Magic Johnson, how even he said that, Rob is a snake. He said it, you know what I mean? And they just doing these like real shady type moves, and it's like, it's not good for the karma of the franchise.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I'm right. I've been preaching that for a long time, and this franchise really hasn't been stable since Dr. Buss passed. God rest his soul, man. And you can see it because we really only won one championship in the last 2010 before this, so 14 years. One championship in 14 years. That is not the Lakers standard. Lakers are known for winning multiple titles every single decade, right? Every single decade, multiple titles. So, we're kind of veering off of that path. But also, the new CBA has kind of put a damper in the way we like to build. The way we like to build usually is we draft young pieces, we accumulate the assets, then we trade for a superstar, and then we sign another one in free agency, or we trade for another one, right? Now, draft picks actually have a high value and a high premium. So you can't just give them away nowadays, right?
Exactly.
What I've been telling folks for a while, well, of course, LeBron fans are going to say, for the most part, trade the picks. Who gives about the picks? This, and that. And my reaction every time to that is just disappointment, man. Disappointment, because I know what's coming for us in the future. Like, we're not the LeBrons. We're the Lakers. We have to worry about our future, right? So these type of off seasons make me nervous. And I just hope the Lakers don't have a slip up, man, as far as, like you said, giving up a little too much, because then that's going to set us back for years to come. And if we don't win the championship, it's going to be even worse.
And it makes you sick when you look at the landscape of the league and you see all of former Lakers sprinkled everywhere, and they're just balling out, man. Yep. And it's just like, the LeBron James fans, they upset me, because it's just like they say, oh, LeBron James, he makes everybody around him better. But what about that young core we had? He didn't make none of them better. He shipped them out. The moment somebody doesn't do anything, he ships them out to bring somebody else in. So how much are you really making people better? So it's just like, I get it. Like, his time is short, but also at the same time, whether he's here or not, the Lakers franchise is going to live on. We got to set ourselves up for the future. Period. Point blank.
And you know what? That's what made me happy about today's report, that LeBron wasn't getting that involved in the coaching decisions, because I think the front office got to make those decisions. Because again,
I feel like it's puppet strings, man.
I do feel like
he's building that narrative to make it seem like he's not really involved. Right. Yeah, washing my hands. But he's real passive aggressive with that type of stuff. So it may look like he's not involved, but he really is.
But the thing for me is, I would love it if this was true, because we didn't make a trade at the trade deadline. And I was low key happy because I was like, we would have had to butcher our assets and probably fell short anyways because we had an incompetent coach.
Absolutely, that's how.
So I was very happy that they didn't. Like, it feels to me like somebody wants to put their foot down. I'm not sure if it's Rob or it's Genie, but it feels to me like if we don't have the offseason that LeBron wants, it might come to an ugly divorce. I'm not saying, you know, LeBron's going to be traded because I think he's untradeable. You know, first of all, you got to factor in his age, plus the fact that he's going to have all this power as far as no trade clauses and stuff like that. So, but what I do mean is, like, the Lakers at some point have to get their soul back, because I feel like I love LeBron. What he did for us was phenomenal. We won a championship, always indebted. He's going to be a Laker, you know, great because of that, because he came when nobody wanted to come, in a time when we couldn't get free agent meetings with Carmelo due to the front office being in disarray. We couldn't get free agent meetings with even LaMarcus Aldridge, even C-listers. So I'm not going to sweep all the good that LeBron has done under the rug. He has reestablished us as the franchise we are. We always will be. But there's always a star, man. And history will tell us there's always going to be a star that comes back and puts the Lakers back on the throne where they belong. Always.
Yeah.
Right?
Nobody's perfect, man. Like, to all you LeBron fans, like, you know, we love Bron, but you got to also acknowledge the negative that comes with him. You know, all of this wanting to mold the you know, the franchise to his will, you know, that's not good, because I feel like we could have won another chip if it wasn't so much meddling with the roster, you know, because you have to have chemistry, right? You can't keep turning over the team year after year and expect to have that chemistry and to make it deep into the playoffs or even get a championship. You have to have some sort of chemistry there in order for these things to work between head coach and players.
Absolutely, man. You're absolutely right, man. This has been one of my favorite phone calls in quite a while, Solo. Thank you so much for tapping in, man. And the phone lines are always open for callers, especially like you, very knowledgeable, sharing their wisdom. And it was just a pleasure to listen to you talk. I can't say that for too many people, but when it happens,
I appreciate it. I've been trying to get on, but I'm always busy doing something. But I'm happy I was able to catch you today.
I feel you, brother. Hey, man. Hey, keep rocking, man. We appreciate you, bro. Thanks for blessing the channel today. All right.
I appreciate you. Thanks, Dan.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
Peace.
Man, I could have talked for hours with this guy, man. I could have really talked for hours with this guy. He definitely knows what he's talking about. Me and him think similar, because one of my biggest concerns is that I've been mentioning it since we got eliminated, that it might be time to turn the dial a little bit. And I know it's not the popular opinion because the Lakers always used to competing, but there has to be a fine balance. Like, the only way I'm okay with LeBron coming back is if he doesn't have full control and the front office can actually make decisions. If he takes somewhat of a pay cut, I don't want to bring him back for over $100 million for 2 years. You know, it doesn't, the production is going to be there, of course. I'm not saying he's not worth the money, but as he gets older, I'm expecting somewhat of a, you know, downfall eventually. I'm expecting somewhat of a fall off as far as the numbers go into consistency. So if he wants to compete for titles and he doesn't just want a farewell tour, he's going to have to give something up, whether it's the control or a little bit of money or both, you know, in order to make it happen. All right, let's bring in my next caller. Lakers all day. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Yo.
Hey, yo. What's up, man? How you doing, Dan? What's up?
Good, bro. Good, man. Just
what's up, man?
Another day, brother. Another day. Talk to me, man. How we feeling?
We good, man.
Yep.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm so right. So was right with this, like, I'm saying, like, everything he said. You know I'm saying? I agree with him about LeBron, and, you know, low-key people saying, like, he's saying, like, some people saying that he's a leader, but he's not a leader. Guess what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what leader would want to trade Josh Hart, Lonzo, Kuzma, you know what I'm saying? All those BI, you know what I'm saying? All those guys, instead of, you know what I'm saying, like, leading them and, you know, and showing them the way that you know what I'm saying, to be a great player. Low key, you want to go ship him out to go get AD, and we only get one championship. You know what I'm saying?
But
so
I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm
gonna tell you this
with that.
To add to what he's been saying. To be honest with you, I believe the Lakers were partially at fault for that as well, because when they recruited LeBron, I'm pretty sure they promised him ahead of time that they were going to go out and try to get AD. I'm sure it was already in the works before LeBron got here. The Lakers at the time were so desperate because so we're trying to reestablish ourselves from what Jim Buss did and where he left us, like, in the dirt. We're trying to reestablish ourselves as a marquee franchise. So they were really desperate to get LeBron here just because of his name alone, and to say this is again the number one place to land as a free agent. If we can land LeBron, and everybody else will want to come when they become available, because obviously LeBron was one of the GOATs. So I do believe they sold their soul. They probably promised LeBron everything he got, and as a result, they had to get it done, even though it cost us a lot. And I think around the NBA, everybody knew this. They knew we were in a weak position. They knew we had to gut the roster in order to get those two players together, and we got a championship out of it. So it was a success to that degree. The problem I didn't have was with that trade, because all those young talented players we traded were replenishable. The problem I had was with the trades afterwards, right? We had a championship team in 2020. We get rid of KCP. We get rid of Kuzma. We get rid of all these key cogs. And again, to bring another friend of LeBron's, which is Russell Westbrook. Now, LeBron fans swear that he had nothing to do with it, but we know LeBron definitely has a lot of pull in the organization. We also heard that LeBron was obviously one of the players that really was vouching for Darvin Ham. So now we're hearing that he's never had nothing to do with any of the coaching hires. It does kind of sound like a, let me wash my hands right quick type thing. Hopefully it's not that. And hopefully the Lakers are trying to get their soul back, because they're still reeling from giving up all those assets. But how would you operate this offseason, man, if you're the Lakers right now, to help us for the now and for the future? I think we got to strike a good balance.
For me, I'm gonna get a point guard and DeJounte Murray, because guess what? DeJounte Murray can help us, with those guys in the back, Kyrie and Luka. Having a dude, and DeJounte Murray, he's quick, can get bucket, he can play defense, and low key, he can shoot the 3-pointer. And low key, like, you need a guard, you need a point guard like that. And LeBron needs somebody like that, because he's 40 years old. Like, he don't need to take over this team. Like we saw him. He could do it occasionally, but now, like, if you get a point guard and DeJounte can be that third star that we can need, instead of go getting Mitchell. Like, I already know that the Cleveland, they like him, right? But why would we spend all the draft picks, and probably more assets, instead of just getting a point guard from Atlanta, right? And then after that, go getting a center, because guess what? We need a point guard and a center, and we might need to go get a shooting guard too. I'm fine with Buddy Hield, because guess what? Buddy Hield, he can drop 17 points off the bench if he wants to, or come in and drop 17. That's cool with me. I just want a point guard in the center. Yeah. And then and maybe a small forward, so like, when like LeBron's tired or whatever. But, point guard in the center for me.
Absolutely, man. You know what? They gotta get it right this summer, man. I believe. I know he just got extended, Rob Pelinka, but I believe if he doesn't get it right this summer, he could be the next one on the chopping block.
Oh, yeah, you definitely. Hey, listen. I feel like that's where people needs to be, heading at, because he low-key really didn't do anything for us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like he did okay, but you know what I'm saying? Us bringing D'Lo back, and D'Lo having these mid-lat, like these freaking ups and downs, in him not trading Austin Reed, low trade deadline, really hurt us. Because now, low-key, you see that if you didn't make a trade, right? Saying, maybe it could have helped us, maybe it could have hurt us. Guess what? Did D'Lo do anything in the playoffs? He did, but not that much. Did Austin Reeves do anything in the playoffs? No. So you over here keeping these two players because of their name, and you're trying to make this team better, right? So go make a move. You know what I'm saying? You should have made a move instead of just holding back and waiting for 3 draft picks.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hey, great call as always.
So
hey, go ahead. Ask me. Go ahead.
Hey, yo, Dan.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Dan, what you think about what you said, though? What do you think about what Sham said about the coaches and LeBron?
Shams Charania? I'll tell you, I'm a little puzzled by
Yeah.
it. I'm not sure if we're trying to, like I said, get our soul back, or if it's just legit, the washing of the hands, that, the yearly clutch routine. Let me just clear my name. I'm not really a coach killer type tactic. I really don't know what to make of it, but I am interested and intrigued because I hope there's truth to it. I hope LeBron doesn't really get involved in the coaching search and some of the stuff the front office is doing. And I hope he just either gets with the program or gets, you know what I'm saying? Like, you either with us or you against us, bro. And I hope that he can, for sure be with us and, do some of those things that I hope happens this offseason. But I do have high hopes for the Lakers moving forward. You know me, man. I always try to stay positive about the Lakers. It's always, we got a new coach, we're about to get a new coach. No more Darvin, so that's a positive. And we got some draft picks here, some assets. Austin Reeves had a good season. Rui hopefully will continue to improve. Max Christie most likely will get more PT. So I'm looking at the positives, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully we do that.
Hey, Dan, for me, before you go, for me, I'm low-key leaning to go get like Sam Cassell, because we need a veteran coach, with these LeBron and AD and these young players, because like, if we get a first-time head coach, it's gonna be the same thing from last year and the year before that. I'm saying? Go get Sam Cassell, right? He's a veteran coach. He he knows basketball. He's been an assistant coach for a long time. Low-key, he will hold these players accountable, not just the young players accountable, but guess what? He will hold LeBron and AD accountable.
Absolutely.
So that's why I feel like that's where we need to go.
Yep.
And Max Christie will be a star, because I do think I'm a big Max Christie fan, and I think Max Christie is better than Austin Reeves right now, and he will be better than him.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Well, let's hope that he's good first and foremost, right? I know he's gonna be good, but let's hope that he's great. Let's hope he surprises some of us next year.
He will. I think he will, bro. He will. He just needs a shot. You know what I'm saying? Because you over here, not over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, not playing him.
Yeah.
That really low key hurts somebody's confidence. You know what I'm saying? Confidence. But now low key, he sees that, this coach is gone. So now he probably gonna.
He's going to be hungrier because of it. He's going to be hungrier because of it for sure. But thanks so much for the call, brother. I appreciate you, man.
No problem, man.
Happening. We'll talk soon, all right?
Go.
All right, brother. Let's bring in one more caller, man. My guy, KJ. What's up, KJ? How you doing, bro?
What it do, y'all? What it do?
Let me answer this question really quick. My guy said, Dan, is it possible to get Alex Caruso and a decent starting point guard? It's possible. It's not likely. If you're the Chicago Bulls, there shouldn't be like a reason why you trading Alex Caruso, especially if they still want to compete. Now, if they want to blow it up and rebuild, then maybe everybody's up for grabs. What would you do, KJ? You're the Chicago Bulls.
To get who? Caruso?
Would you trade him?
Trade who?
Alex Caruso.
If I was the Bulls, would I trade Caruso?
Yeah.
It depends on what they looking for. What do they?
Well, you see the team where it's at right now. Obviously, they got Zach LaVine injured and that bloated contract. They got, DeMar DeRozan's a free agent. Nikolai Vucevic, I believe, I think he's got a year or two left in his contract. What would you do? For me, if I'm Chicago, I'm blowing the heck out of that team.
I'm blowing it up. They ain't
I'm
going
around Kobe White, who has
they not going nowhere. So
yeah. So maybe that does become a possibility. But how you feel after yesterday, KJ? Talk to me, bro.
Man, I feel good. Fuck the Nuggets, man.
Big facts, brother. Big facts.
Shout out to what's his name? Solo?
Yeah, Solo.
Yeah, shout out to Solo, man.
Solo, man. He did his thing. He came through here, man. He was out here sounding like a pro, man. I was very impressed.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man. This is why we open up the phone lines, man. You never know.
Personally, if we get a new coach, I want Sam Cassell. I don't want no damn JJ Redick. Fuck that shit.
I think more people are leaning towards Sam because he has, he's got the credentials, he's got the experience for sure.
I mean, he won 2 titles as a player. He won a title as an assistant coach with the Celtics. So come on, bro. Like,
by the way, KJ, have you got a chance to look at what we just dropped on shopcourtkings.com? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I seen it when you posted on Instagram. Yes, sir.
Is this a banger or is it a banger, man?
And I got some shoes. To go with it.
Wait, man.
Hold on.
I had my boy Chris. I was like, we got to put something out for Ant-Man. This is what he came up with, man. This is a banger,
I got like some shoes. Got that green in it.
Yep. Oh, fire. There you go. You got the matching. That's what's up, man. Yeah, that's definitely tough. If y'all definitely tap in, we still got we still have the free shipping. So very cheap and badass merch, good high quality as well. So definitely tap in. And KJ, I'm gonna go live later. I'm not sure if you're available. I will be live later on tonight. On playback to do good take, bad take. And I was gonna do around the league tomorrow, but I think we're gonna cover the game instead, man. I'm gonna push it back to an off day.
Which game tomorrow? Which game tomorrow, man?
I think tomorrow, right? If I'm not mistaken, I believe. Let me double check the schedule. I believe the Celtics play the Pacers, right? Tomorrow, right?
God dang, that don't get no rest. We can
no
get
rest.
7 games.
Right. So yeah. Well, I'll probably wait till an off day to bring back around the league. But we'll be doing playback later on, KJ.
Yeah.
Hopefully you tap in with me, man. And chat. If you guys haven't tapped in with us, man, on playback, let me drop the link for you guys right now because we're doing good take, bad take. That's when we go around the internet and we look for, ESPN, Fox, and all these takes, and we break them down, man. Because there's a lot of bad takes out there. You got to call them out.
Did you see? Did you see what that son of a? I ain't gonna cuss. That son of a gun did yesterday.
Who?
Paul Pierce stomping on Brunson jersey.
I was mad. I was
like, bro, get your goofy, bro.
Bro, I was so mad. I was so mad when I seen that because I'm like, this guy does not know how to read the room. This man just broke his hand and you stepping on his jersey, bro. You should. I don't believe in canceling, but that's a cancelable offense right there, bro.
I'm like, dude,
you're a real piece of shit for that, bro. Like, come on,
dude
now.
was scoring over 40 damn near every playoff game. Paul Pierce, you didn't do that, bro.
That's why we hate the Celtics.
Come on, bro. I'm like, bro, you disrespectful.
Too disrespectful. It reminds me of when Jason Tatum wore the Kobe Bryant T-shirt after he passed with him in a Celtic jersey. You don't do that. You don't disrespect the man's history, man. Come on now. But yeah, man, way too disrespectful, KJ. Way too disrespectful. And that really frustrated me. That's an asshole move right there. You know what I'm saying? That was one of those where you just gotta, you know what I'm saying? That was one of these right here. That was one of these.
Stop it. Get some help.
That was one of those, man. That was one of those. So
yeah.
I mean, everybody's reaction on Twitter was this. When we see that shit. So
I'm like, man, you come on. This man literally gave everything he had. Ain't like he the biggest dude. The dude barely 6 feet tall, giving everybody 45 a night. Exactly. Come on, bro.
Exactly.
You 6'8", you weren't doing that, my guy.
No. Paul Pierce, man, let me tell you something. Paul Pierce, he was good, but he wasn't as good as he thinks.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude,
better than D-Wade. Everybody knew that. Come on now. But yeah, man, that's gonna wrap it up for us here, man. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. I will see you, KJ, over on playback, hopefully later on.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody for tuning in, man. We got plenty of content coming for you guys. So stay tuned, hit the like button, subscribe. Go shop CourtKings.com, man. Y'all was asking for it yesterday, right after the stream. We got it for y'all, man. And man, listen, a star rises above them all. He truly is becoming the face of the league, man.
Man, Chris be coming up with designs on like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yep. That's why I hit him up, man, right after. I knew he would come through. But all right, y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. We will talk soon, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
Y'all be good.